Then the first act on stage was Tumshangilieni Mtoto. And Tumshangilieni Mtoto is, it's a space, right? They have a lot of art in that space, like a lot of art, because it's based on, it's a children's home situation. So they have a lot of art. And their act was called The Lost Child. They first started with playing, they're called the brass band. They were playing brass instruments, and it was amazing. Like, it was amazing, whatever they were doing. They played it so well. Obviously, it was Christian based because there is no way to save people without sticking it to Christian morality. So it was Christian based. And then they did the national anthem, which I was shocked when people stood up for, because I was like, no one said to stand up. They're performing, but people stood up because they wanted to look like they're patriotic. Shade. Yeah. Then after the brass band performed, the dancers got in. Their dance was Afro-contemporary dance. I enjoyed it. I really did. I really did. Like, it was a storyline that you could follow. I felt like the choreographer, because I think the guy who was dancing on stage and did so many solos is the choreographer and is their resident dance teacher. I felt like he also wanted to show his dance skills, which was amazing. But Tumshangilieni Mtoto, like, let the kids win. That's why we're fighting for kids. Like, let the kids win. Let the kids win. Yeah, I really was rooting for those children, and he did an amazing job. And then, you know, with dance, choreographing dance, when you're going to dance for so long, you have, dance is almost like music, the way music, and I realize people who create poets are the ones who don't have that. Dancers are the ones who have the starting, like the way music has the verses and then the bridge and the chorus, things like those, right? So to me, I thought, like, there will be, like, if you've noticed, like, you were there on the second day and you noticed that there is a bit of repetition, because that's how dance is choreographed. If it's going to be for that long, there has to be one count of 8 or 2 counts of 8. Most of the time you find really good choreographers do even 3 counts of 8, so that these 3 counts of 8 that they keep just repeating throughout the entire piece, anything will change and then they will come back to that. So it's like the chorus and then they do that. So that is the routing of the dance choreography, and he was doing that. What was amazing was the way the kids were really aware, because choreographing with kids, you have to have very important points of where they'll know where to go in and all that, because kids keep their own counts. They don't count the same. They say you count with your heartbeats. If anything, their heartbeats are even faster. So they don't count the same. And there was a time it felt like that. There was a time there was that. There was, because the kids didn't know when to lie down. They were doing let's lie down. I think they were creating a circle, and then they were going to lie down, then they didn't know when. So things like those, because it was choreographing with music, he didn't have like a song. Most of the time when you choreograph with kids, you choreograph with a song. So you tell them, when the person says this, you guys know it's time to do this. But with a repetitive beat, there is no time. They'll have to count, and that's giving kids a lot of work. They're trying to remember your choreography at the same time they're trying to do this. They're trying to hit also the right beats. there was a time they felt lost, and I realized that that was something the choreographer should have been very aware of, that oh, with kids you have to be very much aware of the fact that they're struggling through so many things. In that moment they're so distracted. There are people, sometimes people are clapping for them, people are happy, and kids, you're happy, they want to join your happiness. They forget there's an entire choreography to do. So that was amazing. I didn't understand the reason for they did acrobatics at some point. I told you they have a lot of art. I've been there before. When they did the acrobatics, I didn't understand why. Why? But I guess it's also to showcase, which brings me, like, I was hoping this won't ever get political, but you know me. The way these spaces are really presented, that those kids can't enjoy their art always has to showcase the best of them. Like, everything has to be there because they have to make an impression so that people can like them. And it's how orphanages are. That, oh, have you ever gone to an orphanage? Because there was a time I was really going to those spaces, and that's how I went to Tumshangilieni Mtoto. And you get there, and the first thing, they're paraded and they have to sing for you. They're doing all these things. You're like, I only needed water to drink and leave. I don't know what this is about. I just want water. Can I get water? Okay, bye. They do that. They posture these kids so much. And I felt they really took away from that powerful choreography because they were dancing Afro-contemporary. Like, Afro-contemporary is a lot of work and a lot of strength. Their choreographer had beats of contemporary dance in terms of technique, but their dance was mostly Afro-contemporary, and even the beats and everything. So I didn't understand why the acrobat act had to happen. Like, why are we doing it? Are we doing it to just showcase to people, like, oh, we can do this too. Look at me, I can do this too. Look at me, I can do this too. And it took away from that choreography. I felt like the brass band created this space, and then the dancers got into that space that was already created. The acrobats, obviously, if you've ever been where acrobatics happen, you know that they displace energy like no one's business. They displaced that entire energy. Then it felt like it had to be called back. So after that, it came to the end, but it made the dance anticlimactic because we are just getting to, wow, what was that? And then people are on one wheel bikes, like, what the hell? Why are we doing that? That's dangerous. Somewhere people are throwing things in the air. And I know it's so cute. We posture children like that. Like, you're so tiny and you get to do all those things we think is magic. And so it's cute. But I really think we should have just let those kids do that. The entire time I felt like they're the ones who did the most in terms of performance. So I think there was that need for them to show up with so much. That worthiness, I hope we discuss it sometime. I hope we discuss it sometime. But the way those kids were postured, I wasn't amazed. Like, I wasn't amazed. Teacher wao niliona chuna kwa giza. Kimpata kwa giza. I wasn't amazed. Like, I felt like they did such an amazing job, but they had to do so much, which took away from their message constantly. And then they became entertainers. They became see me, see me, see me. And this was not one of those dance shows where you do that. Like, they should have just left them at the band and then the performers and then just let them be. But I realized also in those spaces is where it's the first time people get to showcase their work. So the acrobats also had to come back and showcase something. Yeah, so we need to create better spaces for them, maybe. I don't know, maybe rethink around that.